And then by 2004, that's when all hell really started to break loose.
Starting with Magic. He was the first to get indicted out of St. Louis in 2004.
Right. So Magic's house gets raided by the feds.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Mm-mm.
But when you guys heard about it, what happened?
Actually, the day it happened, because at that time I had my house. So he wakes me up and he gives me a call. I'm like, hello. He like, but it was like weird kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you can feel that something's not right? So he called me. I'm like, what's up? He like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, you good? You sure you good? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, go look outside, like, and make sure, you know, nobody's outside the house. So I'm like, all right. So I went out there, you know, I looked around and I'm like, it's nobody here. He's like, all right. He's like, come meet me. He's like, I'm gonna call you and tell you to come meet me and come where you want me to come. You know, I'm coming where I tell you to come meet me. So I end up meeting him at Houston's on Peachtree in the parking lot. And when I pulled up on him, he had let me know that the feds had raided his house in St. Louis, and that, you know, he had retained a lawyer, talked to his lawyer, but he was like, I'm not turning myself in. So that's when our little adventure started with him being on the run.
Right, because after the St. Louis raid, then your house in Atlanta got raided.
No, it wasn't that. No, it didn't go. That the timeline didn't go like that.
Okay, sorry, explain.
When his house got raided in St. Louis, he ended up going on a run for about, that was in September. So what is that? He went on the run all the way until May. And May 11th, 2005, he was at my house in Atlanta. And the feds, I don't know how they knew where I lived, because when he was on a run, he used to pop in and out of Atlanta to take care of things. And he used to stay at my house. And nothing ever happened. So I don't know how they got the drop on where I live, but that particular morning, he had friends from St. Louis down here, and they were staying at my house. And the way my house is set up, it's like in Georgia, we don't have like underground basements. They have walkout basements. So my house was kind of like 3 levels with the top floor, the middle floor, and then the basement. So one of his friends had came and busted in my room and was like, yo, the police outside. And I'm like, what? Like, we were sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, the police outside? He like, yes, the police outside. So we instantly hop up, start throwing clothes on. And the way my bedroom is set up, you can look at the whole perimeter of my house from the backyard to the side to the front. So when we looked out the window, U.S. Marshals had the house surrounded. And I was like, oh, shit. You know, and I could tell the look on Magic's face that he's looking like we're looking at each other, like both together. I'm like, damn. So I called my father, you know, and I told my dad, like, yo, like, the police got the house surrounded, because he knew he was on the run. You know, he knew what was going on in the situation. He was like, well, did they come in the house? And I'm like, no, they didn't come in. He said, don't open up the door. They don't have a search warrant. So we sat there. I swear, I don't know how long it was, but it just seemed like it was forever. And we sat there. I guess they was waiting to get a call or a judge to sign off on a search warrant. So we scrambling. We trying to put away stuff. We trying to hide jewelry. Like, we scrambling around the whole time while they're doing that. So Magic ended up going, it was like a little pull down thing in one of the bedrooms that led up to the attic. So he pulled the thing down and I closed it, and he was in the attic part of the house. So when the police eventually came in, I'm like 3 or 4 months pregnant at the time with my son. When the police came in, they came straight up the steps, and I threw my hands up like, I'm pregnant. You know, don't throw me on the ground like I'm pregnant. So they like, where's, they was calling him all type of stuff like Duran. They was calling him Lamont. They was calling him Wani. Like, they had a picture like, where is he at? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I just woke up. I'm pregnant. I've been sick all morning. I don't even know who's here. So at that time, they started getting everybody out the house. Everybody out the house. And when they got everybody out the house, they put us on the side of the house, handcuffed. And while they searched the house. And eventually they found him. And that's when he was detained by the police.
Okay. And you're 3 months pregnant at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure the stress was just...
Yeah, because I went to jail too.
Off the meters. Aha. Okay. So you bonded out?
Huh?
Well, when you get locked up along with him.
Because they searched the house and they had weed that they were smoking that was like around. So just to be petty, you know, they knew I was pregnant And probably just to give a hard time because of the situation, they arrested me and charged me with possession of marijuana because it was my house. So my mom, when I called my dad, he had put my mom on a flight anyway to come down and check on me. So by the time they went through the house, raided the house, and they took me to jail, I was probably only there for like 30 or 45 minutes, and my mom was there to buy me out.
Okay. And at this point, Magic gets no bond?
No bond.
Right, because he was on the run and so forth,
Yes.
so he's obviously
and he was facing 20 years in prison, so they knew if they let him out, he's probably going to run again.